This is your Adventist News Update, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Andrea Musgrove. Coming up in the news, over 60 young ladies inducted as gems. Adventist composer receives Woman of Distinction Award. And Bahamas Academy students encouraged to live healthy. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News Update. You're watching News Update. Thank you for joining us for this week's broadcast. The Women's Ministries Department made history last weekend when they inducted over 60 young ladies between the ages of 13 to 26 into GEMS, Girls Empowered for Ministry and Service. Jackie Gibson, Women's Ministry Director for the South Bahamas Conference, said that one of the major objectives of the ministry was to involve more of the younger women within our churches. She expressed that she was happy to embrace the idea of GEMS as presented by Anicia Ferguson, who was the brainchild of the initiative. The GEMS induction took place on Saturday, October 24th at a one-day conclave held for the women of our conference at Berea Seventh-day Adventist Church on Blue Hill Road South. The event saw over 700 women from all walks of life and denominations surrendering their lives to be used by God. Rhonda Carotas from the Southeastern Conference of Seventh-day Adventists was the guest presenter for the Congress. In speaking to the young women, Carotas reminded them that their bodies belong to God. She admonished them to live modest lives and said that even though their lives may be less than perfect, they are valuable to God. Also during the day, a presentation was made by Tanya Hanna, attorney at law, on a number of legal issues faced by women in our society. At the end of the conclave, the women left empowered both spiritually and emotionally and are now looking forward to how they can further be used by God. On October 3rd, 2015, at a gala awards presentation and concert at Atlantis Theater on Paradise Island, the music director of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Audrey Dean-Wright, was recognized as a recipient of the Celebrating Women International Women of Distinction Award. This award was bestowed on Mrs. Dean-Wright for the outstanding contributions she has made and continues to make in the performing and fine arts in the Bahamas, but especially as an international composer and choral director. Outstanding Bahamian women in many areas were honored for their achievements and stellar contributions to the Bahamian society. Mrs. Wright stood tall with a number of global honorees, such as Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, former President of Malawi, Africa, Her Excellency Winnie Mandela, race and justice activist of South Africa, and Lynn Whitfield, actress. In June of this year, Audrey Dean-Wright was bestowed the President's Award for her outstanding achievements and contributions to the College of the Bahamas. We congratulate her and wish her God's richest blessings. When we come back after this break, more about Let's Move program.
When God gave the children of Israel the sanctuary services, He did so to teach them very important spiritual lessons about the plan of salvation. Notice what God said in Exodus 25 and verse 9. According to all that I show you, that is, the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all of its furnishings, just so shall you make it. Now, let's apply that a little bit, because we're told that our bodies are a sanctuary or a temple. God said, build the sanctuary after the pattern. Do you think that might mean that God wants us to follow the pattern in looking after our body sanctuary, our body and our mind? The fact is, God has a very special plan for every part of our life. And that's not smothering, it's liberating. When you find God's plan for a part of your life and you follow that, it's then that you're really living. I'm John Bradshaw for It Is Written. Let's live today by every word.
Welcome back to News Update. Being active is a key part of good health for all school-age children. Recently, Nathan Lacroix, health director of the South Bahamas Conference, visited Bahamas Academy Elementary Fit Club to motivate their children to become active and to live a healthy life. Lacroix introduced them to the I Want to Live Healthy tool, which talks about water, having a positive attitude, eating healthy foods, exercise, rest, fasting, the importance of eating breakfast, and happiness. The children from grades 1 to 6 were introduced to simple exercises that they could do at home, and they participated in an interactive game where each student led out in an exercise that would be beneficial to all. The director encouraged the children to ask their parents to allow them more time to play outside, daily as opposed to being couch potatoes. The Health Ministries Department, in conjunction with the Adventist Health Professionals Association, has in its plans to introduce the I Want to Live Healthy program to schools in the entire Bahamas. In upcoming events in our conference, the prayer retreat of the South Bahamas Conference began this Friday, October 30th, at the Bahamas Youth Camp on Gladstone Road under the theme Rebuilding the Altar. Topics include praying for the sick, public prayers, personal devotions, and building a powerful prayer ministry. Featured speakers are pastors Peter Joseph, Prayer Ministries Coordinator for the South Bahamas Conference, Paul Scavala, President of the South Bahamas Conference, and Patrice Williams-Gordon. The retreat will conclude on November 1st, so we will all hear more about that next week. In conjunction with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Hillview Women's Ministries Department invites all ladies to a special breast cancer forum this Saturday, October 31st at 5 p.m. at the church on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. Presenting on the topic Empowering Women to Become Conquerors will be Dr. Naveen Gurgis, medical oncologist of the Cancer Center of the Bahamas, and Andrea Sweeting, the president of the Sister Sister Breast Cancer Support Group. Wear something pink and come prepared to ask questions. Remember, finding the cure for cancer starts with awareness. The Fall Revival 2015 for the New Providence Seventh-day Adventist Church under the theme Experiencing His Love, Sharing His Grace began on October 24th with Pastor Asher Dane Duncan. It continues on October 31st with Pastor Peter Joseph, and the guest speakers for November 6th to the 8th and 13th to the 15th are Doctors Clifford Jones and Mansfield Edwards. The Grantstown Seventh-day Adventist Church wants you to get ready to join them as they celebrate their 85th anniversary and Super Sabbath on November 11th to the 14th, 2015, under the theme Celebrating the Past, Embracing the Future. Pastor Paul Scavala, president of the South Bahamas Conference, will be the guest speaker on Wednesday, November 11th, and a number of pastors from the South Bahamas Conference will speak throughout the celebrations. Guest pianist for the weekend celebration will be Olive Fletcher of Miami, Florida. On the morning of November 14th at 11 o'clock, the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church will be celebrating 104 years of witnessing in the Bahamas under the theme Make His Presence Glorious. To commemorate this grand occasion, a day of musical tributes is planned with guest speaker and former pastor H.A. Roach. Featured musical artists will be Dr. Paul Jones, a gifted Canadian concert pianist, composer, and author, and Dr. Helene McPhee, soprano. A special invitation is extended to all. The Winning Your Marriage Conference, hosted by the South Bahamas Conference, will be held in Nassau on November 20th to 22nd, 2015, with lead presenter Pastor Howard Simon from the North Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists in St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Save the date. Other presenters include Pastors Peter Joseph, Larry Green, Barrington Brennan, Asher Dane Duncan, Dr. Pansy Hamilton Brown, and Patrice Williams-Gordon. The Children and Adolescents Ministries Department of the conference will host a week of prayer beginning on Wednesday, November 25th with a joint prayer service. And on the afternoon of Saturday, November 28th at 5 p.m., a concert will be held to showcase the talents of the children of our conference at the Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church on Old Trail Road. And on Sunday, November 29th, all children are invited to participate in a fun day at the Adventure Learning Center on Marshall Road from 1 to 5 p.m. And the Singles Ministry of the Bethany Seventh-day Adventist Church hosts a Strong Faith Finish evangelistic outreach to be held on November 25th to the 28th, 7 o'clock nightly at the church in Westridge, Cable Beach, with guest speaker Dwayne R. Wilson, associate pastor of the Devonshire Seventh-day Adventist Church in Bermuda. So you want to check out all these great events.
Most people have heard that carrots are good for the eyes, but do you know that other foods help to protect your vision and prevent eye disease? Vision experts note that a healthy diet is an important factor in eye health. Researchers have found that certain nutrients with antioxidant properties are beneficial. These include carotenoid compounds such as beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin, and vitamin C and E. Zinc and omega-3 fatty acids are also important for eye health. Nutrition experts have put together the following list to help you choose foods for better eye health. Starting with vegetables such as kale, collard greens, peppers, broccoli, sweet potatoes, spinach, peas, pumpkin, and carrots. And now for our fruits, they are peaches, blueberries, oranges, tangerines, mango, tomato, apricot, papaya, cantaloupe, honeydew, avocado, and grapefruit. And for those sources of zinc, there are fortified breakfast cereals such as beans, whole wheat or buckwheat flours, and pumpkin seeds. And finally, the omega-3 rich foods such as salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines, flaxseed, English walnuts, canola oil, and roasted soybeans. In addition, it's important to maintain a healthy weight. Being overweight or obese increases your risk for developing diabetes, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular disease. Each of these conditions can damage small delicate vessels found in the eye and potentially lead to vision loss. I'm Kenesha Hansen, and this has been your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
And now we go to the Record and Focus Christian News magazine for news from around the world.
No doubt the delivery driver thought it was strange to bring her pizza right into the middle of a church service in Ohio. But what happened next was even more amazing.
We've been teaching our church this last month about being generous, and so we did something special for you today. We took up a special offering for a tip for you. So that's your tip, $9. This is a gift we're going to give you, okay? All right, so from our 3 services combined, we collected this much money. This is $1,000. I wouldn't put you on the spot and ask you to give a speech then, but I hope it's $1,046 to be exact, and I hope that this can help you. I don't know what's going on in your life, or
it will help a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
You know, we live in a what's in it for me world. And you know, that's right in keeping with the message of Christ. Love is something when you give it away, you end up having more. It's more blessed to give than to receive. So when you decide to give of yourself, your time, your talents and resources, know that those blessings come back multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Well, that's all for this week's Adventist News Update. On behalf of the production team, especially Laverne Stirrup, we want to say thank you for watching. You can also view our news broadcast on the South Bahamas Conference website at www.southbahamasconference.org or on the Facebook page. And if you have a story for your church that you would like to share with us, please feel free to call our news producer, Laverne, at 242-341-4021. Thanks again for watching and have a blessed Sabbath. I'm Andrea Musgrove for the Adventist News Update.